Alright guys, welcome to our unique devotion for the day. So I want to do something different. If you guys have been with me for a long time and you've been watching, you know that from time to time I like to switch things up, change things around. So I'm up in a tree. Can you tell? I'm literally up in the tree. I'm not going to try to move the camera because it took me a while to figure out how to get it right where it's at. But I'm probably a good 15 to 20 feet up in the air, and it makes me a little nervous, but it sort of re-energizes me. It's giving me a new perspective, which I love perspective, and I think it's just going to charge the brain in a different way. Hopefully it'll help me out. Plus, I'm here with nature, let's just rub the old tree there. All right, so we're doing 1 Corinthians. Let's get down to business. 1 Corinthians chapter 14. I'm going to read verses 6 through 12. And then I have a little bit of insightfulness, which is what we do here on this channel. And if you like scripture and you like insightfulness, if you just like scripture, if you just like insightfulness, please go and hit that little subscription button down below, hit the dingy bell, and get notified from time to time. We'll get back to that in a little bit. So 1 Corinthians chapter 14, starting at verse 6. Now, brothers, if I come to you and speak in tongues, what good will I be to you unless I bring you some revelation or knowledge or prophecy or word of instruction? Even in the case of lifeless things that make sounds, such as a flute or harp, how will anyone know what tune is being played unless there is distinction in the notes? Again, if the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who will get ready for the battle? So it is with you. Unless you speak intelligible words with your tongue, how will anyone know what you are saying? You will just be speaking into the air or the windy tree. Undoubtedly, there are all sorts of languages in the world, yet none of them is without meaning. If then I do not grasp the meaning of what someone is saying, I am a foreigner to the speaker, and he is a foreigner to me. So it is with you, since you are eager to have spiritual gifts, try to excel in gifts that build up the church. All right, so still a little nervous about being up in this tree, especially since it's windy, but I'm smiling, I'm having a good time. God is with me, I will be fine. And as long as I don't lose the camera, we'll both be fine. Okay, anyway. Contextualization. Contextualization. It's a huge word. But that's what comes to mind here. He's talking about speaking. He's talking about speaking to others and what good is it if they don't understand what you're saying. Why contextualization? Contextualization. The first word, context. The first portion of that word is context. So that should make sense to you now. What context are you speaking to others? He's talking about speaking in tongues, and if people don't understand what you're saying, it's kind of pointless. But we can put this into our everyday life. So I'm going to use a little example here, a little analogy, a little metaphorish story time here to help you understand, maybe just get you thinking about it. I know you understand, but let's just think about it for a moment. Let's go a little deeper. So if I say, hey, you, grab that thing and help me do this, you might be able to figure it out. You are an intelligent person. You are a glorious child of God. So I'm sure that you're grasping what is being said. Picture yourself maybe at work or with family or loved ones, and someone is saying that to you. And you might be able to visually, by what they're doing and what you normally do, you might be able to figure that out. But the context there is so limited that it's almost like speaking another language. You really need to read into and guess what that other person is thinking, even though you might have guessed correctly. So let's take that a step further. What if I said, hey, Jesus, come over here, my friend, and help me push this boat into the water? Okay, that context made way more sense. Now you know that I'm not talking to you necessarily. I'm talking to Jesus. I'm also calling him my friend, so that wraps a whole new meaning around what I'm trying to get to, and I'm telling him exactly what I need him to do. What I'm asking him to do is to come over here and help me push this boat. So you have a much deeper visual of what's happening. Now you can go to some deeper levels with that and use that in your everyday life. You can get more specific, add more context. Now, I'll be honest, in social settings, too much context doesn't make a whole lot of sense. To say, hey, Jesus, my friend, and explain his entire life to be specific, and then say, come over here by walking over here and not running, by smiling on the way, and help me push this brown fishing boat with the nets into the cold water as the waves are moving. See, that is still context, and that is totally valid, especially a good book has a lot of context and a lot of detail. But in a social setting, that might be going a bit too far. But I tell you what, going a little too far with that and being too specific is actually better than not being specific enough. So as you're reading this scripture and you're in verses 6 through 12, and you're maybe up in a tree, hanging out with the old tree here, and you're thinking of context, and you're thinking of, let me reverse that, and you're thinking of speaking to others, and maybe how you speak to others and how you perceive others speaking to you. Also think of the word context and think about this scripture, what he's saying, that if you're not going to be specific and you're not going to communicate properly, you might as well not communicate at all, and you might as well just push that boat into the water all by yourself, because it's going to cause other challenges. Like, what if nobody thought that you, when you said, hey, you come over here, nobody turned because you weren't specific enough? Now you have no help. That's the point here. So just something to think about. It's not the total depth of this conversation, and it's definitely not the total depth of contextualization, but it's a good start. It's a good place to go and just take things a little bit deeper, and it makes sense here in this scripture. So next time we'll continue 1 Corinthians chapter 14, and I'll start in verse 13. For now, check the description box. I'm going to leave the scripture down in there so you can actually read it, just in case you don't have it handy. I've been doing that the last couple of videos, and I think it's nice. I hope it's helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if that's helpful or not. Share this on your social media. It's super helpful. It's been helping to grow this channel. I know a number of you have been doing it, and we have grown. Doesn't matter about the numbers, but we are growing, and growing means that there's a chance for more perspective from every single one of you and your friends and your family to come on board and share their thoughts and ideas about the scripture too, and follow along. So with that, I'm going to end the video here, but I want to say one quick thing before I leave you with a prayer. The next couple of weeks are going to be a personal challenge for me with my schoolwork and trying to get some things done around my house. My wife and I are trying to take care of this property, and I've been kind of slacking. The problem with that is it takes up a lot of time, and it's important time. I do not want to stop making videos but it does actually take me days to do the editing that I do and the special add-ons at the beginning and the end. It takes me hours when you add it all up to really think it through and make it come across fun and exciting for you guys. So I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna do what I did way back at the beginning. I'm making this video. I'm just gonna post it as is with some very limited information. A couple of little nuggets that YouTube lets me use easily, but I'm not gonna do some editing. It's gonna save me a lot of time and still give me a chance to read scripture and not feel overwhelmed and enjoy things like this old tree, and just keep bringing perspective and content to you guys. So I also have a question. You know, what do you guys need? What do you guys want to hear about? I talk a lot about scripture and give insights to scripture here and try to take it a little deeper for our everyday life. But, you know, are there questions that you guys have? Are there things that you struggle with? Maybe topics that you would like to know about that go beyond the Bible? I do a lot of thinking. I do a lot of researching. I love philosophy. I love psychology. I'm deep in that, and I bring a lot of that to what we do here at Unique Devotion. So, giving you some of that information, if there's something else you would like to know about, post that down in the comments, and I will start keeping track of things that people are asking to talk about, and start trying to think of and create some strong content for you guys with those subjects. So, you know, sometimes I throw this kind of question out there, and I get some feedback, and it's helpful. So I'm gonna throw it out there again. So there it is. So I hope that God is giving you all the blessings you deserve. And I know that He's giving you all the blessings that you dang well don't deserve. So, until next time, you guys, I love you. Peace. Peace, love, and diamonds. Oh my gosh, being up in this tree is starting to freak me out with the wind. I can't even think. Peace, love, and diamonds. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.